Spain blocks Britons from Gibraltar in new crackdown causing chaos at border. British citizens have been refused entry to Spain from Gibraltar today as EU red tape caused chaos for travellers. A number of British citizens were stopped from entering Spain on Wednesday as Spain's border force appeared to have tightened their controls on people leaving Gibraltar. Police officers asked all citizens from countries outside the European Union, including those who hold a British passport, to provide evidence of their onward travel as well as accommodation reservations in Spain before permitting them to cross the country's borders. Britons were also being required to present proof of funds for the duration of their stay in Spain. Border guards also refused entry for a large number of people from other countries. Authorities in Gibraltar have raised concerns that Spanish officials are banning the entry for international citizens unless they present a valid reason for their trip. Spain's border force have tightened their controls on people leaving Gibraltar since the beginning of this week, according to local media reports. Tom Watson, a British national who has been in Gibraltar for 4 months, was refused entry to Spain until he provided proof of funds for his trip. He said, "I had to prove I had 100 per day for the duration of my time in Spain." Another holidaymaker from the UK who crossed the border into Spain also told the Olive Press newspaper that Britons are also being required to present proof of funds for their stay in Spain. Julie Quartermain said, "At the border, we had to prove we had 100 per day per person for the duration of our stay." The woman officer was apologetic but said she had to see enough for the 10 days we plan to be in Spain either in cash or in a bank account. Fabian Picardo, Chief Minister of Gibraltar, said in a statement that the government had been informed that such measures were suddenly being applied. He said Gibraltar would be taking the matter up with the Spanish as well as the UK governments. Minister Picardo said, "We are receiving reports of a change in approach to non-Gibraltarian, third-country nationals, crossing the frontier into Spain. We will be taking up these issues with the UK and Spanish authorities." According to local media reports, the new controls were only applied to people crossing Spain's border on foot rather than in a vehicle. It has also been reported that citizens from third countries who are officially residents in Spain as well as third-country nationals or Gibraltarians who hold a red residence card are not subject to the recent rules. The government of Gibraltar is expected to provide further detailed information regarding the border checks at a later time. The British overseas territory has been at the centre of a bitter row between the EU and the UK after Brexit, as access to Gibraltar was not included in the trade agreement struck between London and Brussels in 2020. This means that a separate agreement about the future of Gibraltar is required. Under an EU proposal, Spain would gain control over the country's external border. Since then, Madrid has stepped up its attempts to use Britain's EU split to reclaim the British overseas territory. In December 2020, Spain and the UK struck a last-minute deal to avoid a hard border, just before the transition period drew to a close. Under the terms of the deal, Gibraltar remains part of the Schengen passport-free area, which means British citizens will need to go through a Schengen border post to enter Gibraltar through its airport and seaport. Negotiations about the territory's future have yet to be finalized. But in a statement released on Wednesday evening, Mr. Picardo said he is hopeful a deal could be reached that was agreeable to all sides in negotiations despite logistical challenges. Gibraltar's chief minister said he was strongly optimistic a deal could be struck between the UK and the EU and that negotiations were going well despite delays due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine. Thank you for watching our videos. Subscribe to our channel to get notifications when we post newest videos. Thank you and goodbye.